when I take you both to Miami for a game, you're going to be surprised at how far away from Miami we are for this game. Because this is out by the Sawgrass Mills Mall. Great.
Yes,
I think it's got a Bennigan's. That could be fun to visit.
Bennigan's.
But truth be told, you're not going to see this at that arena.
I've heard nothing. The Will Smith Going to Miami song has been blasting in my head this entire time.
I've been talking
since
for
you
like
said
5 minutes.
Miami. I've just been.
Sounds like the beginning of a stroke there.
Should we
Next
call
on Ugly Thirds?
Should we call the police? That's.
Welcome back to another episode of Ugly Thirds. Today's topic
It's
is
me. I'm smoking all of a sudden.
Florida JetBlue rating rarities. Shrems and maybe John, take it away.
If he goes down, I can finish the show, but I can't do the math.
He'll just be laying there. We gotta finish the show. That's what he would
The
want.
show must go on.
That's what he would want.
That's what he would have wanted. And I can't call the police because he just questioned that, so.
What's
I
the
don't know
sting
who to
of the
call.
police?
Oh.
Every breath you take.
Please don't take my air supply.
Please. Please.
So the purpose of this show, the Rating Rarities, is to look at the rare jerseys that are the pillar of any collection, the things that people go out and try to find, but for one reason or another are not easily found. And so this is a Florida Panthers jersey, which is well labeled, but you wouldn't know it otherwise. Phil, you want to read off you want to look up when this was worn.
No, you did not tell. You did not write this down. You did not tell me.
No, I
this.
did not. I told you I didn't get to it, but
procedure.
it is standard operating procedure.
There's nothing standard about what we do. Okay.
He does have a good point.
I think we've done 12 of these episodes. It's not nice. Phil.
He says one episode. Explain the process while Phil does.
Okay, so not that you'll be. Well, there is a 5-step system here.
Wow, that's a glare on that thing.
Looking at this, so that it's out of 50 of the appearance, the rarity of it, how good does it look in general, how
Please, people are gonna throw up, Phil, trying to watch that.
how noticeable it is. If you go around a rink, are you going to notice this one? The number kit, how good is the number kit? How good does it look? Moving over a bit, Phil. The rarity, can you find this thing? And the value. When you find it, what should you expect to pay for it?
Yep.
It's funny. He always goes to yours. So the one that has a ding on it and a nice mark, I took, and it's the first time he's ever gone to mine.
Phil, back to you.
Okay. Well, okay. So this jersey came out in looks like 2009.
That makes sense.
Yes,
Sounds
2009 is introduced, and it lasted through 2012.
Okay, so we move into an era for the Florida Panthers, for which they continue to be terrible.
Yeah, I can't say that anymore. Usually, it's like dumping on the Panthers is one of my favorite pastimes, and I can't now.
They were always like 10 points out from being that playoff team, but they never had that marquee player to bring them to what they've become in the past year or so. That being said, this jersey, what a weird potential history that this thing has.
So, I mean, they're wearing these at this time, and honestly, it might have even been the blue version of these at that point. Because the Panthers are all like, oh, was it the blue ones?
Dark blue ones, yeah.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we'll have a throwback. We'll go red, and everyone's like, oh my god, are they bringing back the throwback? Are they bringing these back that everyone wants? No, they just made this. They made their current jersey, but in red.
Yep.
Disappointing everyone. Which the Panthers were really great at doing.
2011.
2011, they
brought the red, yeah.
And so they bandied these out in the meantime. And Shrems, you want to talk about? We nicknamed it the JetBlue third. Did I lose the tags off of this?
I thought you wore it.
Maybe I did wear it once. It was new with tags.
Nice.
But it's a 3X, so it's massive.
What we call it the JetBlue jersey.
Yes.
Why,
and Shrems?
So this comes from NBC Sports. So this is not just some blog somewhere speculating. So it says, where does Michael Yormark, president and COO at that time, was one of the few proponents of this color scheme and brought it in to help lure the discount airline to become a major sponsor. If that was indeed the thought, it worked. JetBlue is a team partner to this day, and this article was written March 16th, 2012, and that was the end of the season, was when they were doing away with the jersey. I have never gotten Yormark to confirm the story, but I have heard it from a good number of people, so some speculation there. Anyway, Yormark liked the look so much, the Panthers were on the verge of changing their official colors from the original red, blue, and gold to the 2 shades of blue. In the summer of 2010, the Panthers had changed everything to those colors, and it looked like the team was going to go to those colors exclusively for 2011-2012. Continuing on. Only Dale Talon, the Panthers GM at that time, Mike Santos, the assistant GM, and Bill Torrey, former president and GM, hated the look and refused to wear anything with a cat in a circle logo on it. They quickly made it known that they hated the blue look, and the Panthers quietly started phasing it out.
So there's your answers. As answers as they can get.
Yeah.
So they didn't want a circle, but they want a shield.
It's regal.
We were in the midst of everything was blue and blue. This is when Columbus introduced the Cannon logo, blue and blue. Winnipeg, the Thrashers moved to Winnipeg, blue and blue. The Penguins started with blue and blue, and that's a roundel.
Yep.
This was an era. St. Louis introduced their roundel for the Arch logo.
Yep.
This was a rash of roundels and blue, and this was in the thick of it, and largely forgotten. Other than I've seen these jerseys as blanks that you can have for minor league teams. There's actually a local one. The Piedmont Predators wear this home and road.
Cool.
So there's because it's a decent look on its own.
I think the Frederick Freeze wore this as well.
Now you may be right.
Yeah.
It's not like the look itself is good.
It's good.
It's not the Florida Panthers though.
No, it's not. But I do love a roundel.
And what I truly can't stand, and when I look at it, there's no whiskers. Whiskers. You have whiskers. There's no whiskers. That cat has no idea that it can't fit through that because that's what whiskers are for.
Gotcha.
Why? Because like that going out into the roundel would have been a pretty clever little thing of like the ears poke out.
Interesting.
And there is one legacy of this. Nearly wore it. I probably should have.
Here, have that.
Oh, great. I'm sure the sound design is fantastic for that, too.
The mic's on the table.
It's good that we moved the mic off the table. This, where do you think they got the baby blue? Though there is a slightly... No, it's about the same shape.
No,
Maybe
it's different.
It's
It's definitely different.
And then this logo came back up. Phil, you want a jersey cam the two?
Nah.
Oh, okay. What are we not paying you for then?
Hold on, because now it's all zoomed in and all that other stuff, and you gotta get it a little bit closer.
Like, that's where that came from. So there are some minor legacies here. But, I mean, so appearance-wise.
Let's do it.
So, 10 points each. And Phil will average them at the end. Do you want to go to the main board? Can we look at the main board first?
You want me to show the picture you have on here first?
No, because that's more specific.
As opposed to Atlantic, where they play?
Yes, it's more Pacific. So this is the current list. The Lightning Storm Surge is leading at 41. The Dallas Stars Winter Classic, because of how hard it is to find and how gorgeous it is. Below it, some space, all the way down to that Oilers 1 year, still down there at the bottom.
Here, hold on 1 second. Keep talking for a second.
Okay. What I admire most about Phil, he's clever. So this is the compliment sandwich.
No.
Always prepared.
This is clever.
Semper paratus.
Preparedness is not good. And he has wonderful hair.
I put the wrong slide. Rangers got deleted. We did the Rangers.
That's right. We
one.
did the Rangers Chrome.
Chrome.
So there you have it.
So
where does this fit in?
So we may have to do a more visual version as we get to more of those. Maybe that have more use for siding in our future. But
okay.
Where does this fit?
Okay.
So the appearance
for you? No,
for me,
wrong end. There you go.
Appearance. I'm at a 7.
I am too.
I think this is a very good-looking jersey. It's not a 10 because it's not good for Florida.
No.
If Winnipeg picked this up as their look from the start, 0 questions, right? I'm sure there's other teams. If this became a Pittsburgh alt meant to be like, if this is that Winter Classic against Washington that's meant to be like, it's the 67, no question.
If the story is true, they were pandering for money.
Even worse.
Yeah.
Way worse. Now, there is one thing that I also think takes it down a notch, and I believe I have that. That's the picture slide. Is the pants, I think, are laughable. And it's rare when I have actual, proper comments on the hockey pants, because usually it's just a piece. They look like gym shorts.
They do.
They really, really look like gym shorts. And
the complete look here is not great, but we're not doing the complete look.
Yeah, no, we're looking at a jersey. This is for the retail side and wearing it.
Okay.
How noticeable is it? While it is...
No, that's you're on. Oh, you are on noticeability.
How rare it is, because I can flip it up and take
yes,
a look.
Sir. If you're walking around an arena, is this going to stand out?
I don't think it is. I'm a 5.
No way it is. I'm at a 9.
Even though no one wears them.
Well, and so that's why I'm even at a this is so generic looking.
I can see your point.
That's my end, because it's so unknown. It's such a blip and forgotten. Despite being 3 years, it astounds me that you have some of these rarest jerseys were around for 3 years, and no one bothered to get them. Whereas those one-off jerseys, some of them are easier to find. I think just everyone would look at that and just be like, it's some generic. It must be a local team. It must be a mite team or something. Maybe this is the junior Panthers. I don't think this gets. I see your side of it. Which go ahead.
Yeah, no, for me, the idea of this coming up in a sea of red and white, it's gonna stand out for sure. The roundel is what does it for me. Most people equate the Florida Panthers to either this or the shield that they have now. The fact that this pops out from somewhere, it's catching my attention. And maybe that's just me being observant in arenas. When I've been to BB&T or whatever we're calling it now, 3 times. I've never seen one of these before.
Wow.
Never seen one.
Okay.
And this is over the past decade.
Well, I'll swim in this for that game.
Okay.
When we go.
Okay.
That'll be worth looking all sorts of baggy and
like
shabby.
It. Good.
Can't wait to spill nachos on it.
Okay.
Number kit. Fill this. You have a slide on this because I don't have this one customized because it's a 3X and I don't have the need to wear it. There's some interesting things with the font. There's some good serifs going on, but it is extremely basic. It's one color.
It's my dead center for me.
Yeah, I'm in the same place. I'm at a number 5.
Okay.
There is nothing wrong with it. It's a nice font, but it's not a nice kit. Rarity. This is a straight up 10.
Yeah.
I looked on eBay. I saw exactly one.
For 700. What there is a youth small at this moment for $250. A youth
small. Usually the youth jerseys you can find no matter what.
The one blue one that I found was $750, and that's pushing it though. That's if you are patient. For me, I feel like you can get this between $3 and $3.25.
Which leads us to the value.
Yeah.
No, I everyone I see is 500 plus. I don't think we've ever had a 10 on this show. I'm at a 10.
If patience will get you there, but I wouldn't pay more than $300 for something like this.
I saw one that was in bad condition. The crest was all sorts of frayed. There were some pulls.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, I'll get it, and that's the one I can wear, and then this can sit in a bin. It still went for like $325, $350. It's absurd. To try. I'll have my junker version. No, it didn't. And so the ones there's one on eBay for like $550 right now, and like honestly, That's about where it is. It kills me. This is a 3X. Like if this was an XL or a 2X, like this would be among my favorite jerseys in my collection.
Yeah.
But I can't wear it. Not without looking silly.
Once you do get the replacement for it that does fit, this thing's gonna get you $300-400.
Yeah.
3X is a tough size to sell.
That's the one thing holding it back. And it was new with tags. I don't remember when I took the tags off, but clearly I took the tags off. Yeah. So.
Well, the one on eBay is also 3X right now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
And that's still at $500.
$750.
Okay. I feel like this has got to be upper end.
Yeah, I'm gonna say top 3.
I don't think it's gonna break the lightning storm. I don't think it should break the lightning storm. I'm not as upset if it does, though.
No, it
is genuinely impossible to find.
Yeah, and it comes from that weird era. I'm trying to think of a jersey to equate it to, one that happened to exist but nobody remembers.
Lightning with their trash bag alt, like that one's under the radar, but it's not
it
rare.
Is, but I'm talking about from this era, like who from this era, that early iteration of Reebok to where they switched from the Vector logo to the Reebok word mark.
Some of those early Lightning jerseys, some of the
bolts,
first bolts.
But people know bolts. Like it doesn't, unless this thing is in a category.
Sens, but people remember the nickname.
Yeah. Unless this is in a category on its own, like, I'm not thinking...
Leaf 67 was an alt for a while, and no one really remembers it, but again, it's not exactly rare.
Remind me how...
I got one. The Calgary third that they did for a couple of years. Not the
word mark one?
The word mark one.
That's actually out there. That was on our slate, but I deleted it because I thought we were doing too much.
Yeah, that one kind of reminds me.
Yeah, no one remembers that one.
I'm taking some of your two, adding it together and dividing by 2. Am I doing
correct? So you should have a number out of 100 divided by 2, so it's out of 50. It's our average.
Okay, so yeah, he's 39, you're 37.
So that makes it nice and even, and probably puts us exactly where I thought it should be.
Top 3.
Because
hold on. Sorry, hold on.
Lightning was, I think, 41.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember, you got to get out of the slideshow mode and put it back.
No, I thought I did. Never mind, not worth it.
Yeah,
that's top 3.
That's where it ought to be. It is. There is a nice gap after it to the ones that are rare but not exactly special. Rare but not like grails. At least not most people's grails.
Yeah.
There is a nice gap between grails and the rest. It'll be curious to see what finally beats the Storm Surge.
I have one in mind, but we'll never get it. But I'd still like to do it.
Is it that Predators one?
It is, yeah. For me, these have to be, if we're doing rankings here, it has to be something that was at retail.
Yeah.
It can't be a one-off, game-worn type situation.
Because it has to be collectible. Yeah. You have to be able to collect it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe that Preds one doesn't fit the bill here, although they are out there.
You can. It was the team sale. Yeah. But it was just the sets that existed.
Yep.
Whatever they had made for the team.
Yep.
Okay. Well, Phil, you want to bring it back down?
Nope.
Okay.
Look, if you find one and you find it cheap, you find it in a yard sale or something, you buy it. Buy it now. I'd be curious to if you haven't seen them in Florida, because even in Dallas we saw a whole bunch of Winter Classic jerseys. Now, granted, that was sold 2020, and we were there in 2023, 4, whatever it was.
Yeah.
So, but, 2012 to now, and if you're seeing 0, that's something.
And so much has happened with the Panthers since this jersey disappeared that nobody's waxing poetic about Camille Krebs or Stephen Weiss and the years that they just sat on the outside of the playoffs. Like, this was a tough time for the franchise, and
it evokes all the worst things of corporate greed, and it's not the right colors, and the era of roundels and blue, and
it existed.
And barely at that.
Mm-hmm.
On that note, he's Shrems, I'm John. Phil, why don't you take us out?
Bye, Phil.
Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, ring the bell to get notifications when we post new videos, and come back for another episode of Ugly Thirds.
Phil Bill thought he was going to get away with wearing a Montreal Canadiens sweater this entire time and not changing for the episode, and I'm calling him out on it. Go ahead, rewind.
Bennigan's on me, fellas. It would be my pleasure to take you out to lunch before the game.